Welcome back to the A-List with Alexandra, where we break down all things Hollywood. With me today is celebrity stylist and author Jen Principe.
Hi, Alexandra. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Thank you
excited to
for being
have you
here.
here.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Now, Jen, you have your new book out, A Common Thread, and I read it. I loved it. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Will you tell the viewers a little bit about A Common Thread and the inspiration behind it?
Yes, a common thread. It was very hard for me to kind of put this book into a particular genre and describe the book because it has a lot of different elements to the book. But basically, the book is an inner and outer perspective of my life, the basic virtues that I've learned along the way, along with the lessons that I've learned through my styling career. I've been in the fashion business for 12 years now. And so it's really a short stories, individual short stories about the things that I've learned through the process, along with a bit of my background, which I'm sure you read Alexandra's, quite unique and remarkable. And it's really a story of not allowing pain to define us, trauma to define us, and to move forward through the pain and to ultimately find our purpose. And for me, that has been through fashion, through my nonprofit. And so the two main elements that run through the book are faith and fashion. And so through the process, you get inspirational true stories. And at the end of each story, then you get some guidance on how to build your wardrobe from the ground up. So you really get a lot of bang for your buck with the book.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, there were so many unique stories from your background. What was the writing process like? Were there any roadblocks or any points where you didn't know if you should put something in the book or you struggled with it?
Absolutely. There were a lot of roadblocks along the way. I mean, first, you read about cleaning out the mental file cabinet in our own heads.
Mhm.
I was really nervous. I'd never written a book before. As you read, I got kicked out of school 4 times. I didn't go to college. So, are my writing skills, um, are they good enough to put out into the world? So that would slow me down along the way because I would get into my head and get self-critical. So that was part of the process. And also, just time, COVID, work,
Yeah.
it was really having to stay on the process. But the process in itself, I got mostly inspired at night. So I would get woken up at, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I would pretty much write all the night through. So I would write from
Wow.
midnight until 5 in the morning sometimes. So I lost a lot of sleep. So it was hard for me to, kind of function during the day. But, it's just one brick at a time, one step at a time.
Right. And
Yeah.
in the book, you made a good point that there's a fine line between allowing clothes to work with us and allowing them to define us. How do you find that balance, especially being a stylist? Clothes are such a huge part of your life.
Yes, absolutely. That's something I really have to be cognizant of and think about all the time because I am surrounded by the most coveted things in the world. From also with my husband is in building luxury car storage, so it's
All
cars,
around.
clothes, it's jewelry, it's social media.
Right.
I think my experiences have really helped me. The experience that you read with Shenzhou, the monk that I met while I was celebrating my 25-year anniversary, and just reminding myself that those things don't define me. And I just feel better about myself when I know that I'm wearing my wardrobe and I'm reutilizing things. I feel better about myself when I'm working with my clients and I'm getting them to wear more of their wardrobe so we're not so wasteful. I try to remember that giving my things away and periodically going through my wardrobe and weeding out allows other people to benefit from what I'm not using that's just sitting in the back of my
Right.
closet. But like I wrote in the book, even salt looks like sugar. So, you have to be really careful not to let labels and those things define you. And I certainly, work at that on a daily basis. But I feel like I have a really good balance.
Yeah. And I related to that. I have so many pieces where I'm like, oh, I don't ever want to lose this. I don't ever want to give this away. But I also love to donate. And I'm like, well, if I'm really not going to wear it, even though it's something I love, I can give it to someone else and they're going to get such great use out of it. But it's finding a balance. I figure that too.
Finding a balance. And I think a lot of people think too, oh, this is like, 2, 3 seasons ago, it's old, it's not in style anymore. So, my job is really to show them how to incorporate that into their wardrobes with maybe some of their more current things so that they do feel stylish. But it's really about, fashion for me and, my take on it. Of course, I can get hired and I can style somebody head to toe and they can be completely on point and fashion forward, but it's really about feeling good in what you're wearing. So even if it's not, current season or it's out of style, if it makes you feel good and it raises your vibration, then I'm all for that, because I think that, that's really what we're all about, is we should be walking this earth feeling really, really great about ourselves and carrying a higher vibration to lift everybody around us at that same vibration.
Yeah, and I think that message also translate highly to your nonprofit, the Phoenix Effect. Will you talk a little bit about that? Because I feel like that
Yeah,
charity and the nonprofit, that's all about making women feel good about themselves and in their skin and their
absolutely.
clothes.
Yes, absolutely. So, I was in the I was in fashion for a couple of years, and you probably read the story that I was kind of going down this little pity party because I have two sons, and I know they're getting older, and now they're not in the house anymore, and I don't have daughters, and anyway, I just thought to myself, I know that the best way out of self is into service. I've always known that. I learned that at a very young age. And so I thought, what can I do with this gift that I've been given? I really have been given this talent that I think a lot of people, they don't have. They don't know how to put things together. They don't see it. They're talented at other things. And that's why I go to them for that. But for me, I really wanted to find a way to give back that talent. And so it started about 8 years ago, where I would curate photo shoots for young girls that suffered from cancer, is where it started. And so through that process, what I found is that it was a beautiful day for that child to just not get poked and prodded, and to just feel really good about themselves just for the day. And it was fun and playful. But what really made the most amount of impact was when I would give the coffee table, the memorialized coffee table book, to that family, and they got to see their child, feeling good, looking good, playful, full of spirit. And so the nonprofit kind of grew, and it grew to life debilitating diseases. And so I would get calls from certain people, I don't have cancer, but I have this. Would you be willing to do a photo shoot for me? And then it grew to adults as well. And the name of the nonprofit is called the Phoenix Effect. And there is a legendary myth about the Phoenix that has to dive into the fire in order to be reborn. And I believe that we're all a part of that process. And so through my nonprofit, I help that Phoenix rise out of the ashes and sort of embrace parts of themselves that they've lost during that process of trauma or illness, whatever that is. And so actually in about 2 weeks, I'm doing another Phoenix, and she's a foster child that's been sort of bounced around from foster care. She was homeless for a while. So that'll be my first girl that I can kind of relate to. I mean, my story I wasn't in
Right.
foster care, but I can kind of relate to the trauma,
Yeah.
not the illness, but the trauma, the mental trauma. So I'm excited to be doing that one.
Oh, that's so sweet. How do you find these girls? Do they contact you? Is there a way people can contact Phoenix Effect?
Yeah, so you can go on my website and you can apply to become a Phoenix.
Okay.
Right now, it's all kind of been word of mouth. It's usually right in God's time. As soon as I'm ready for a new one just seems to show up for me. So it's just sort of nominating the right person. They can go on my website, which is jpstylist.com. You can purchase my book there as well. And you can see the transformations on there. I don't know if you've had a chance, Alexandra, to look at the transformations, but they're
I
unbelievable.
looked at some of them. They're
Aren't
amazing.
they
Like
incredible?
it's incredible. It really
I
is.
know. Yeah, I love it. It's really, I think, why I'm here. It's really why I wrote the book. I mean, a lot of people have said for years, Jen, you need to write a book. And I have been given these incredible stories to tell. And, for a long time, you asked me, did anything hold me back? Yes, I held back a lot in the book. There were things I couldn't put in the book because, I don't want to destroy my family. And
Right.
so there were things I had to hold back. So I gave just enough for people to understand that my life was complicated. I was not born in a bubble. I've had to overcome a lot of challenges. But putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. And as you read, I was very vulnerable with my ugly side as well. It's really scary, but the messages that I've been receiving and the feedback that I've been getting has been remarkable, and that I've really helped a lot of people with their own trauma and their own, and to be able to come out and talk about it. So it was worth the risk.
Yes, absolutely. And in the book, you mentioned wardrobe wisdom. I absolutely love those little sprinkles of wisdom throughout. Is there one that you really, out of all of them, love the most or really stand behind?
I mean, chapter one, the very first piece of wardrobe wisdom that I ever received was from my father. And
Thought that was
I
great.
was, I was 13. I was going through a really difficult time. I didn't know how to maintain friendships. Given my background, I was depressed. And a common thing that I would do to protect myself is, rather than being abandoned, I would cut friends out left and right, and I would find reasons to do that. And so I was in my room, I was depressed. My dad came in and, he said to me, one day, Jen, you're going to understand this. Today it might not make sense to you. He said, your friends are like clothes in your closet, and you're going to have, a wide variety of wardrobe pieces. You're going to have conservative friends that, you can talk to in just that way. You're going to have playful friends that are, that are perfect just to go out and have fun with. You're going to have trendy friends. You're going to have, your classics. And then you're going to have that favorite sweatshirt that you'll be lucky if you have one or two in your lifetime that, you put on that feels like home for you. And he was really right. I didn't resonate with that at the time, but as I got older and I've weeded through a lot of friends, and I have a lot of different friendships in my life that fit different parameters for me, just like my clothes in my closet, the classic clothes, the business clothes, the trendy friends. Some look good on me, some don't, some I shouldn't even try, but I do.
Yeah.
So it was, that was a really good piece of wardrobe wisdom.
Yeah, and that
And I
one
think I
really
passed it
resonated
down.
with me as well. I was like, that's such a brilliant way to look at it. And I was thinking about my clothes and my friends, and I was like, yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. And one particular outfit is not going to fit all different lifestyles. So
Right,
sometimes we depend on that, that one friend to like fit every category.
right,
That's not, we're not wired that way,
right.
So we need them all to make up our wardrobe. Yeah.
Love that. And
Yeah.
now, what is one thing you really want readers to walk away after reading a common thread?
Well, I want them to look at their own inner lives from a different perspective, and that we can learn so much from the people around us. It's the unexpected strangers sometimes that teach us our biggest lessons. So, it's looking at our in our inner world and listening to the God shots. That's kind of my main thing. I've been a God shot is like an intuitive knowing, a deep intuition, a creative urge that all bear the fingerprints of something much greater than us. I like to call it the divine God. And we get them and we need to act on them. And that's what I did with the Phoenix effect. And that's what Drew did with Henry. And so, I think I want people to walk away knowing that, to listen to the calls of the universe, those whispers that we hear. Um, and, um, and then, of course, to expand on their wardrobes, to not be so afraid to go outside their box, to incorporate color metaphorically so that they can bring as much light into their world. There's so much psychology behind colors and how they shift our vibration and our moods. So I would love it if people could come away with feeling both inspired,
Mhm.
and also to look at their wardrobe from an entirely new perspective, and to know that there is a place in transformation for the material too.
Right. I love that. And it's so true. I feel like really fashion and clothes really do shape you with confidence. And it's just such a fun thing to be able to put together outfits and feel good in your clothes.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it can shift our experiences. It can
Right.
enhance our mood, change
Right.
our vibration, give us confidence.
Mhm.
We're more self-assured. And clothes can do so much.
Right.
And, there's kind of a stigma around like, oh, it's just the material. You shouldn't let the material define you. And it's not defining you. It's one tool to feeling better about yourself. And the better we feel about ourselves, the more confident, and the more confident we are out into the world, the better our experiences really are.
Yeah,
So,
it's so true.
yeah.
And since you are a stylist, I do have some fashion questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
So, first off, what are a few closet essentials that you tell all of your clients that they need?
Yeah. A good leather jacket, a
Mhm.
good buttery leather jacket, with not too much hardware on it, but it should be soft to the touch, movable, breathable. I would say a good button down, a good classic white button down, oversized and fitted, are good pieces. I like dusters a lot. Outerwear is like, I tend to do a lot of outerwear because I feel like we can, polish up and complete an outfit.
Mhm.
A classic trench coat is always great right now. Like, and when I say classic trench coat, there's the Burberry, which is like a classic trench, but right now there's like the big Teddy trench coats, which are
Right.
like oversized, but just a good outerwear piece. I would say stay in fashion with the jeans.
Mhm.
You know, nothing will make you look more out of style than wearing out of style jeans. So stay with the current trend, but don't be a slave to that either. Like I never looked good in that cropped flare. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't look
Mhm.
good on my body. So, you know, but there's usually a few different types of jean styles that are in. A good loafer, you
Right.
know, a great loafer is a classic. I think you can go for something edgy and cool if you want to do, you know, something edgier with studs on it, or maybe a chunkier heel, but a good classic, you know, basic loafer from Sam Edelman to Gucci. You know,
Mhm.
you don't have to spend a fortune. What else? I would say, you know, your basic jewelry pieces, your classic hoops. You know, I wear this almost every single day. It's just a good layering piece.
Mhm.
Um, what else? What else? Classic turtlenecks, you know, always look chic and stylish and put together. Those would be kind of my classics. But if you go, so here's the really cool part about my book, which we didn't talk about, is there's a QR code in the book. And the QR code, when you scan it, it leads you to my website, jpstylist.com, where I have built out what's called the Wardrobe Wisdom Club. And I basically teach the viewer how to build the wardrobe from the ground up. So the very first thing we start with are the basic essentials in your wardrobe. And there's a checklist that you can download. And so as you're weeding through your wardrobe, you can kind of go through and check off all the basics that you're going to need, like a basic nude pump, a basic black pump, a single strap, heel, your leather jacket, etc. And then we build from there and we go into all the different genres, from modern preppy to minimalistic to modern, chic,
Right.
fashion forward, etc. So we hit all the different genres so that the viewer can kind of identify, like, hey, what resonates with me? What feels good for me? You know, what do I want to gravitate towards? And we also give you the language so that when you go shopping, you have that language to say, you know, hi, I'm looking for a shift dress, or I'm looking for a modern minimalistic look.
Right.
Sometimes we don't have the language, it's really hard to communicate,
And
you know?
also, I feel like you kind of touched on dressing for your body type, like what, because I'm tinier, I'm shorter. So I feel like you said, the crop flare, some jeans I can't do. I love looking at stuff on other people. And I feel like I've learned to appreciate how great they look in it, but know that it doesn't work for me. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's something that you hit on too in your book.
Yeah, so there's a body types section in my book, but then on my website, when you go to my website, if you end up becoming a member of the Wardrobe Wisdom Club, and there are free downloads anyway, even if you don't become a member. But if you are a member, there are like 8 tutorials on the different body types, and it's not me. I'm bringing in all the different body types and I'm dressing them, and then there's a cheat sheet that you can download for your body type so that, you know, a fit and flare looks better on me. You know, shift dress is a no, a turtleneck, you know, it doesn't work for me, a scoop neck, a V-neck, etc. So yeah, that's all on the site. You
I
can
love
download
that.
it and you can become a member.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you did touch on trends. So I know so many trends have come and gone. Flare jeans are back. Apparently, skinny jeans are disgraced and they're no longer. Yes. Are there any trends that you absolutely love and any that you wish would just go away and stay gone?
That's a really great question. You know, right now I'm loving all the color blocking. Like there's so much color out there and I'm such a proponent of color. So I'm loving all of that, and the way they're mixing oranges with pinks and things that are just, you know, we don't tend to do. It's sort of like anything goes with color right now, which I love.
Mhm.
And I'm loving the oversized look. Everything's, you know, even the big teddy coats, the big suits, everything's kind of oversized. So I love that look. What do I want to go away? That cropped flare, I feel like that just doesn't look good on anybody. And quite frankly, the skinny jean wasn't the most flattering jean on a lot of people. It was a tough jean. I
Right.
think, you know, we figured out a way to style it so that it looks good. Platforms are coming in huge.
Love platforms as 5 foot tall. I love I only
I
wear
love
platforms.
platforms because you're 5 foot tall and also because they're comfortable.
Yes, yes.
And I find them to be really sexy. So, you know, the platform is huge. Big colored platforms are coming into style. Valentino just launched, like, just a few weeks ago, that big hot pink baby, which I don't think I'll wear, but it's great for, you know, somebody who is in that lifestyle, who's
Right,
running around looking like that. So,
right.
yeah. So that's kind of my take right now. What else am I seeing? Off the top of my head, I honestly can't think of anything other than, just the platforms. Cult Gaia is doing a lot with heels, which actually a lot of the Fendi's doing a great heel. Shoots makes a great knockoff of it. So a lot of these heels where
Okay.
they're not really heels, they're like metal heels. It's
Right.
really cool. I like it. Yeah. So crossbody bags are still in, but then big clutches are in too. Love those.
Right. And then are there any specific summer trends or any colors that are really in this summer now that we're getting into summer, or would you just say color blocking in general?
I mean, color blocking in general, I'm seeing still a ton of cutouts. Everything is
Right.
cut out. So cutouts on the sides. Like I just sold an ALC dress to a woman who would not do cutouts, but the way they did it and where they did it
Uh-huh.
was super flattering. It had a lot of like pleating and ruching, and then it was open on the side. So there's definitely still a lot of cutouts. I just bought a slip dress that's got cutouts underneath. It's very cool. So I really like that
I
trend.
love
If it's
cutouts.
done, yeah, I love the cutouts. If it's done in the right way, and I kind of find that it is.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of designers still doing. I love Jonathan Simchai's line right now. I think is really good.
Mhm.
So summer trends is again, I think it's just the cutouts. Um, Pat Bow was doing a lot of those beachy dresses
Right.
where everything's sort of see-through on the bottom, which I think is really cute for a beach setting.
Uh-huh.
Really cute. Yeah. What else am I seeing? Still off the shoulder, which
Mhm.
I always think is a great trend for summer. I just think it looks good on most everybody.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So
And now, what are some pieces that you tell your clients to invest in? Because I know there's a lot you could get like knockoff versions of, but is there one piece that you say spend the money on?
a bag,
That.
bag. Yeah, I would say definitely a bag. I think if you buy the right bag, like if you can afford to buy, and you can get them on Real Roll as well, so you don't have to
Right.
buy them brand new. But if you buy a classic um, Chanel or Dior, it's going to last you. It's going to last you a lifetime. I mean, I have bags in my closet that I've had 20 years and I still wear them. And I'm so glad that I got them, and they're classic. They'll just
Right.
never go out of style.
Yeah, same with my mom. She has those bags I remember from my childhood, and it's classic. They never leave and they stay
They
in great
never go out of
condition.
style. Yeah, and then a good outerwear coat too,
Mhm. Yeah.
like a traditional, black cashmere sort of trench coat will never really go out of style. A really good blazer that's made really well, that's has the right fit. Like I have one it's a tuxedo inspired, and it is sort of a peplum shape, and it just looks perfect on my body type. So, and I've had that for probably 10 years and I still wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good slip dress,
Mhm.
a good simple black slip dress never goes out of style. You can wear it with a big oversized blazer or a cropped shirt or a sweater over it,
Right.
tennis shoes, jean jacket. Like there's so many ways you can wear a slip dress.
Absolutely. What
Yeah.
is your favorite store for a client that needs like a total closet revamp? Is there some place that you'd love to start at every time?
Well, probably like Nordstrom's or Bloomingdale's,
Mhm.
just for like
Basics.
basics, just for the basics. And then I'm a huge Zara fanatic.
Yeah.
I shop
Zara.
a lot at Zara. It's crazy. I think they do the best knockoffs. Sometimes H&M can have great knockoffs too. There's some online stores, Shopbop, Revolve, Storettes has some really
Right.
fun, really inexpensive stuff. But yeah, I mean, to start off, you want to get your basics and you want them to be good quality. So I would say Nordstrom's or Bloomingdale's would be my go-tos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you mentioned in your book that your clients range from celebrities to business people to stay at home moms. What is something that someone would have to do to really make you excited to work with them? What do you look for in a client?
That's such a great question.
Thank you.
Um, well, quite honestly, I look for people that are willing to invest in themselves, number one, the
Mhm.
time and the money, because
Right.
it's an investment,
Mhm.
but somebody who really needs it, and I can help.
Yeah.
So I have been asked to work with certain celebrities and I don't want to do it because I'm not that stylist. I'm just not, like, it's not for me. They get handed so much. I can't be at their beck and call. I want to have a relationship, a real relationship with my clientele, where eventually we can go to digital and I can nail it. I can say, here's what you need, etc. So I just really look for somebody where we're on the same wavelength, where we really jive. Sometimes I'll meet with people and I know right off the bat, no matter what I do, I'm not going to make them happy,
Right.
because it's here.
Mm-hmm. Is
It's
there
here.
one client that has really stuck with you over the years that you worked with?
Oh my God, I've
So
so
many.
many clients that have been with me. I probably have a half a dozen clients that I've had since the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The very beginning, that are fantastic clients. And, we've been working together so long that we're on just the same wavelength, that if I'm out shopping and I see stuff, I'll just grab it and
Love
drop
that.
it and know.
Uh-huh.
Or like, some of my male clients, males are different than females in the
Right.
way that they shop. A woman likes to shop often, and a male's like maybe, 2 to 4 times a year.
Right. Yeah.
So every season I'll just reach out to my male clients and I'll say, you ready for a revamp? And then we'll just do one big shop and we're done for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I have clients. I mean, that's the goal, is to keep, actually the goal really isn't. The goal is to teach my clients to have enough confidence to walk into a store and know what looks best
Right.
on their body. But I have clients who are business professionals and they don't have the time to do that and they don't want to, and I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are the kind of clients that I look for.
And you mentioned having men clients. What do you suggest? Because I know my mom is always shopping for my dad. And a lot of times, like you said, guys don't want to shop. How do you go about that? Would you say doing like 2 or 3 hauls a year is a better way to shop for a guy? Or would you say just picking out the basics for them? Because I know it is hard sometimes to get a guy to want to dress.
Yeah, it's so funny because I see these pictures and like, and the wife looks fantastic, and then the husband, I'm like, oh God, I wish I could get my hands on him, so that they just look matched, right?
Right.
The best thing to do, if you can't afford to hire stylists, because really the best thing is hire stylists, have her come in and just do like the basics, because a men's wardrobe, it's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
There are classic basics that will last them a really long time, because their trends don't come in and out like women's do. But if you're not able to do that, then what I would do is I would find a experienced salesperson at either Nordstrom's or Bloomies or Saks or Neiman's or whatever your budget is. Make an appointment with them and have them have everything ready. Say, we need a full overhaul, have them, private appointment, go into the store. They will do all the tailoring there, which is really key. Tailoring is key. And I would do that a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And fill in.
I love that. Now, are there any celebrities that you see that are just killing the fashion game, whether it's streetwear or the red carpet, that you just feel like never miss?
No, I think they all miss from time to time.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I love Olivia Palermo's style. I just love the way she puts it together. I don't know if she does it or she has her own personal stylist. But I think that overall, everybody sort of does a hit and miss. I don't have one particular person, to be quite honest with you, other than Tom Ford.
Yeah.
I think he always looks
Classic.
on point, classic, stylish, chic. Yeah, I couldn't name anybody in particular, to be honest with you.
I know, I see some too, and I love a lot of celebrity styles, but then I'm like, it goes so quickly to trends. I'm like, I don't know if I should invest in this or not, but it looks good on them. And, they're doing it for photo shoots and whatnot, but it's so interesting to just see some people put together different outfits for different celebrities. And I'm like, it's very interesting how those fashions go. I feel like it's a different world of fashion. Obviously,
it is a different world, and it's a little bit, unrealistic, I think, for the day-to-day person. So I think, my type of styling is for the day-to-day business professional, and also for, the people that are sort of entertaining a lot, going out a lot. But red carpet and that kind of stuff, that's a whole different ball game.
Right.
And it's not really, I'm not interested in that. It's not really what I want to do. I want to, work with the people that we drive with. It's, I can really give them what they need.
Right. Yeah. And personally, what is your favorite part of the styling process? Do you have a favorite part?
I do. I would say my favorite part is the styling day. So there's sort of there's a sequence of how we work. Usually what happens, I get hired and then I will do sort of an interview to make sure that we're a match. And then I do a closet preview, which is where I, look through everything that they have. I have an assistant taking a lot of pictures of things that I like so that I can incorporate that into their lookbooks once I'm finished. And then we're going over like, I would meet you, I would see you, I'd look at your skin color and, your body shape, your body type, your lifestyle is an interview process. And then I do the shop day. We come up with a budget. I go do the shop day. And then the day that I come and we're putting outfits together and we're dressing, somebody, that's usually my favorite time. And then also when I get pictures, like I get pictures every single
So
day,
fun.
which is so fantastic of people who are out and, dressed in what I've put them in, or I've sent them a virtual pic and then they've purchased the outfit. I just got that yesterday. So that's my favorite part is, watching that transformation, watching people
Yeah.
feel more confident in their skin, going out and socializing a little bit more because they feel more comfortable.
Absolutely. I feel that too. My roommate, I helped her get dressed and I'm like, I feel so proud. Like she's so happy. She looks so
Yeah.
great. I'm like, I love this feeling. So
Yes.
yeah, I know. And now, Jen, thank you so much for being here
You're
today. Will you
welcome.
just tell the viewers where they can find you, find a common thread, how they can get styled by you?
Yes. Yes. So let me grab the book here. Hang on.
Yes. I
Here's
read mine on Kindle. I don't have a hard copy.
So here's the book. It's called A Common Thread. You can get it on Amazon. I also did an audio version with my voice on it. So you can
Mhm.
download the Audible if you're an audio listener. Or you can get it on my website, which is jpstyles.com. And that is my website. And they can follow me on social media on Instagram at Jen Principe Styles.
Amazing, Jen. Thank you so much for being here
Thank you.
today.
Thanks for having me.